How you doing? Mr. DJ back on counting down my survey, one of my fantasy playlists for my 80s and 90s YouTube channel the week of August the 29th, 1987. Dan Hill, Can't We Try It? Number 20, up 5 notches from 25. That was a huge hit that summer. Went to summer of 87, went to number 6. Night Tracks on WTBS played the heck out of this video. That was Dan Hill and Fonda Shepherd. I'll talk a little bit about Fonda Shepherd in just a minute. I've got to admit, never was fond of this song, Can't We Try? Not one of my favorite songs on this survey. A lot of these mainstream vanilla slow songs just don't cut it with me. Don't cut it with me. His first big hit, Can't We, what was that song? Sometimes When We Touch. Back in the winter of 77, 78, that was, ooh, boy. They burned that one up, those top 40 stations did. In the winter of 77, 78, it went to number 3 on Billboard's Hot 100. I'll get to that song in just a minute. Dan Hill's from Canada. He learned how to play the guitar, studied the guitar when he was a teenager. 17, now get this, at 17, he left high school to work as a songwriter for RCA Records. He got around. At one point, he was working for the Ontario government. He was delivering office supplies. At night, he was working at a club called the Riverboat at night. I guess it was a nightclub. He performed at the Riverboat. 1975, he released his first hit single, You Make Me Want to Be. I better double check on that, make sure I got the title of that song right. You Make Me Want to Be. It was a big hit in Canada, but it did not do anything here in the United States. Yep, You Make Me Want to Be. That's the name of the record. And then a couple of years later, his American breakthrough, Sometimes When We Touch. I got to admit, the lyrics were brilliant to this song. I mean, even back then when I listened to it, as much as I hated it, I was just riveted by the lyrics. You asked me for my reply, and I choke. You asked me how I feel or something, and I choke on my reply, and I say, man, you don't hear lyrics like that often. Well, he wrote the lyrics to it, Dan Hill did, but guess who wrote the music to Sometimes When We Touch? Who helped Dan Hill out with the music? Barry Mann. Barry Mann co-wrote the song You Lost That Love and Feeling back in the 60s, also with Cynthia Field, and I can't pronounce her last name, it's W-E-I-L. They also wrote the song Hungry, which is a big hit for Paul Revere and the Raiders. That's some rock and roll right there. And of course, 10 years later, you get to Can't We Try by Dan Hill, making a comeback in 1987 with Fonda Shepherd singing with him on this. Fonda Shepherd deserves a mention. You might remember a song by Peter Cetera, and I think it was either in 86 or 89. I think it was in 89, but don't hold me to that. Peter Cetera came out with a song. It was a beautiful record called The Next Time I Fall, and Fonda Shepherd was poised to sing with him on that record. But it didn't happen. Instead, Peter Cetera picked Amy Grant. But Fonda Shepherd had a hit. I love this record by her. Back in the summer of 98, it was off the Ally McBeal TV show. Or television show. It's called Searching My Soul, which was a pretty big hit for her back in 1998 for Fonda Shepherd. But she was relatively unknown when she did this song with Dan Hill called Can't We Try? And that's all I got to say about this record, so let's get on with it. Number 20, Dan Hill, Can't We Try?